The hardest part through this journey, I would say, was the very beginning when the accident happened. And I couldn't explain what happened, how it happened, what did I do wrong? I mean, you ask yourself all those questions. Initially, I couldn't move anything. I had to get help to get off the floor. I couldn't move my arms, my legs, my head.
I was sound asleep right beside him and I heard him yell out. I was convinced he had a stroke. Called 911, called my son. EMS came. They got, three big guys got him up into a chair. And by the time they got him down the front stairs and they were taking him to the hospital, he told them that his neck was hurting and they put on a cervical collar. And so I followed him to the hospital, and within a few minutes of being there, he had gone and had an MRI and a CT scan, and the neurologist was zooming in to tell us he had a spinal cord injury. I was just kind of in almost just a shock-like state, I guess you'd say.
But at that point in time, you just take moment for moment. I guess it really hadn't dawned on me yet that I was going to be there for a while. I still wasn't quite sure how much I could actually recover or whether I could recover. I mean, I couldn't move my toes, I think. And that was it. My original thought was, oh, I'm going to be back to normal. I remember the first time they stood me up, which was it felt like a crane. It's really more of how close to normal can you get rather than making 100% recovery.
By the time we got to steps for recovery, I don't think Mike was independent with toileting yet, or bathing, or dressing. So those were kind of the early goals. At that point, I was hoping that he would be able to be independent with only a little bit of assistance.
I was doing some walking, but with a lot of support. The hardest part for me to be such a burden on Andrea. What I like is just the personalized approach that you take with us, and from what I can see is with everybody that you take care of. And I just always feel like you're just as much interested in our success as we are.
It was obvious that the therapy is very individualized, and I think that impressed me the most, because every person in your clinic is different and has different needs and goals, and I think it encouraged us. It felt like a family here. You know, you could tell that all the therapists were really concerned about the patients, and you know, it seemed like there was good camaraderie between the patients. So I think everybody kind of encourages everybody else, and that struck me right off the bat.
It kind of keeps you motivated. I was in a power wheelchair, and we had a specialty van so they could just lock me in.
It was a team effort. By nature, he's a stubborn person. Stubbornness is sort of the negative side of persistence. Persistence helped him.
One of the goals, quite frankly, was to get rid of it as quickly as possible. The biggest goal that I had was to walk at the beach again. The first summer after my accident, I never got down to the beach. I got up to the beach house, which was significant because you have to go up a lot of steps. Now, a year later, i.e. this past summer, I actually had a chance to go to the beach with a big rollator to keep me from sinking into the sand. I think I had to go a total of about 68 steps to get down the house, get up to the boardwalk, and go down the steps on the boardwalk, and then walk on the beach, and then come back home. That was a significant progress over the year before. I always say any performance that you have, you need to have some good coaches, and that's the one thing I really like on Step for Recovery is I had nothing but the best people from a therapy perspective. What would I tell somebody at the beginning? Do whatever you can to improve from where you are. It may go pretty fast initially. It'll taper off, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying.
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Take it one day at a time. I wish I would have actually marked progress on a calendar.
Well, what I'm happy about is that I am able to do just about as much as I used to do beforehand. First of all, I appreciate the life that I've had so far. So now I'm going to appreciate every day that I will have. I can't wait to get rid of the walker and use the quad canes. The biggest uncertainty is you never know how far you can take it. And I still don't know how far I can take it. But it's going to be a nice journey to figure it out. Well, the biggest achievement was I saw the bucket with the candy from the Halloween candy near the front door. And so I got out of my chair, Andrew was gone, and started walking towards the bucket and realized it was a bucket with Play-Doh, not with candy. So, because Andrew had two buckets, one with candy and one with Play-Doh for kids that couldn't have candy. She took the candy bucket away, but she left the Play-Doh bucket. So I had to go back to the kitchen and look for the candy bucket. I did find it, but I had to do more steps to get there. So that was good.